since it came out. Now, first of all, I was a little just perturbed right away because they got so many hits right at the beginning. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you get that type of backing so that you get 280,000 hits in your first day of release? And of course, when it came down to explaining that they were following the Venus project, it didn't take me too long to identify the culprit there. Of course, Venus is Lucifer, so we're quickly just looking at the Lucifer project. So what do we want to think about giving our control? Okay, now what Zeitgeist comes to tell you is everything is illusion, right? Everything's been made up to control you. Religion is a farce. Now, I'll tell you right off, I have the 16 Crucified Saviors, and that is the one and only book that's going to give you any sort of account on the idea of Horus being Jesus, being Tammuz, being all of these others. You can't find that really throughout other spectrums of work. Now, I heard Jordan Maxwell saying that they had based this whole movie on his life's work, so maybe he has more information on that topic than I do. He certainly was given all of Manly P. Hall's works, who I try to read and study a lot of his works to try and understand this stuff. I like Manly, too. I gotta stand there with Jordan and say that Manly would be one cool dude to know. But Zeitgeist, now they come out and they tell you the story about how, religion is a farce. Well, yes, in a way, it's got a great message, but it's being used to control. It depends on what message you follow and how much of the book you really want to believe in, which parts of it you want to accept and reject. Beyond that, then they get to 9/11 truth. And of course, as I'm saying, and I have been saying since day one, since before 9/11 happened, I was saying that they were going to use this terrorist attack to bring down America. And not in the way that we think as Al-Qaeda taking over America, but no, finding out that this was an inside job is the very spectrum needed to bring America to the World Court on war crimes. And if you want them chasing down their enemy, old George W. Bush just bought 100 and some odd acres in Paraguay, they're not going to suffer. They're not going to suffer. And why are they all heading south? We might start to wonder that as well as we start to talk to Jay Wiedner and his discoveries of the Cross of Henday and how he finds the place to go is down south. But Zeitgeist then goes on to tell you that, of course, money is debt. And yes, money is debt. Money is an illusion. It's a spell that's been placed on you since way back when. Our most recent, of course, constant creation of the fiat currency is the Templars. And, of course, we see the Templar symbols on McDonald's golden arches, on Exxon's double cross, and on and on. The concept of money is false. But if you go further and further into the Zeitgeist propaganda, and of course then they come to you with the whole concept of bringing out the Venus Project, where everything's catered to, monitored, cared for. You can be slipped off to your job in your magnetic car being brought forth. Well, they finally come to their conclusion when you get the handbook, the guide for the Zeitgeist movement, and you get to the conclusion where it says humanity is too evil to take care of their own planet. We do not have the capability or the capacity of compassion to carry forth a planet that would be suitable for life. And therefore, we must give over all control to a central computer to designate, outline, and design our entire civilization as it sees fit. Now, I don't know how many of you have used the self-checker at the grocery store, but I am certainly not ready to give my world over to a computer and its aspects on this situation. No. Technology is not the answer to this, and the belief that humans are evil and just unable to live with one another is all programmed into us. Programmed through the video games, programmed through the television, through the movies. This idea of the evil human is all that they are promoting to you. And what you need to do is go out and realize that this is not the truth. Realize that there are wonderful human beings everywhere on this planet, and you need to try and break into their world and be their friend. Now, I currently wander around with a pink poodle, and I'll tell you, nothing changes people's perspective and mindset than a pink poodle. I mean, this dog's so cute. Her name should be Ah, because that's what everybody calls her, aw. But every day as I'm walking down the street, I get nothing but smiles. People go, pink poodle, and they give me nothing but smiles. Yesterday, I saw a pink clown running down the street. The creative spirit is not dead. You go check out my zombie day on MySpace/Freeman TV, and you'll see that the creative spirit is alive. Now, Zombie Day is an unofficial thing here in Lawrence, Kansas that just got promoted, and about 400 people dressed up to show up as zombies and wander around the streets having just a crazy time. So there are things that we can do to promote this perception of beauty and to bring a smile upon the faces of the people that we see. And it's so simple that if you're not wearing an emblazoned skull that says, I hate the world across your shirt, if you're not carrying a scowl, and if you're trying to uplift those that you run into, then that is how we change the world. But if you want to follow this wartime spectrum, if you want to grab your signs and head down to the front lines and take on the police squads in their riot gear and, get hit in the head for no good reason, then nothing's going to change. Because you have not changed your mindset, the very apparatus, the very creative spirit necessary to create a world of beauty. You have not changed your aspect. You are fighting against what is already dooming you. And it's not going to help you. It's not going to help. Now, for fun, I went off and filmed a video with Flo White. I highly recommend you all check it out. It's called Chemtrails. You'll find it right at the top of Freeman's blog. It's popping up all over the place, but it's called Chemtrails by a band named Flo White. And I believe Flo White still has their radio show over at revereradio.net. And you'll love it. You'll love it. And this is all creative play. This is what the world is about. Now, if everyone can recognize this, and if we were all to stand together in this friendship, in this mighty force that is our love, that is our very creative reality, and we just stood against it, started growing food, started doing what humans need to do, then we could change the world. But if they continue to lead you down this war spectrum, the war on war is not going to end war. That's just all there is to it. Oh, what a world. Yeah, I still love every minute of it, you guys. Every minute of it. We'll see you on the other side. Well, are you asking why? I asked why Hannah Montana's coming out of a trailer getting on a strip pole, and this is supposed to be the party in the USA. As all of us start to go down in the spectrum, the dollar crashes, and is it a party in the USA as Disney wants to promote to us, as they want to tell us, all you got to do is come out of your trailer park and get on the stripper pole. Join the oldest profession. You'll have money. Come make bombs, make death, make anything you can to inspire us to control you better. On that same note was the new Google real-time Google video surveillance. Now, remember that at Georgia Tech, that they had designed methods to be able to determine you by your gait, and that is by the way you walk. They can tell who you are. So now, Google, who is also coupled with Space Command, or NASA, and also the Obama administration, has come out with the Augmented Aerial Earth, the real-time Google video surveillance. And at the very same Georgia Tech, they've devised methods to take real-time, real-world information and layer it onto Google Earth, adding dynamic information to the previously sterile Google Scape. So they're going to use live video feeds at many different angles, and they're going to be able to tell just where and everyone is. On top of this, you add, of course, the new advertisement for the Vera chip, or the RFID chip, and that way they can tell who is where if they can't seem to determine it by the way you walk. And this whole full spectrum dominance of our global grid, now that